upcoming season. Here are Jason Witten and Tony Romo sitting down with our Jon Gruden.
You win 13 games, you win the NFC East, you're on the cusp of the NFC Championship game. What's the urgency level now, at this point of your career, with what you have heading into the season to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think it's at the highest. I mean, I don't think any year is guaranteed. I've known that for a while. Obviously, lately, with the back surgeries and such, I think you get that real quickly. But I don't take for granted practice today. I think this is as important a day as I've ever had. This is as important a week and as important of a year as we've ever had. So we're lucky to be on a team with some really good players. Lucky to have him, lucky to have this offensive line, the defense that we're going to have. I think there's a lot of players that get me excited, to know that I just need to go out and be the best version of myself and trust in the guys and go play. And I think our team takes that approach each day, and it's exciting to go out and grind it out.
Looks like Jerry Jones has been really aggressive. Re-signing Des Bryant, went out and got Greg Hardy. People's jaws drop when you got Hardy in here. What do you see from the owner that maybe you haven't seen in the last several years? Anything different about Jerry Jones' approach?
Well, he's always urgent. I mean, I think every day you see him, you understand his urgency. It starts at the top, and no better owner to play for us than a guy that has expectations, a standard, and urgency like he does. And it trickles down to us. And you bring in guys that you think are going to do it the right way and can help your football team be better. So that's what gets us excited. And we went 3 years, we went 8-8 and came short in week 17. That motivates you when you come up short. And you look each other in the eye and you say, we're going to break through and get over this. And so we had a good year, but we're trying to be great and have that championship mentality. But you don't talk about it. You got to go do it. And you know it, Coach. It's about out there in practice and training camp and developing your team, the toughness, the character, integrity of your players. And it shows. And that's what we're trying to develop.
When you see these defenses commit to stop the run, you see that 8-man front right away, and you see that number 88 standing over there. Can you talk about what a value it is to have a receiver like that can go get the football? 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, he changes the game. Sometimes I push the coaches like, there's big play potential on every first down. We don't need to get into a bunch of crazy formations. We can change personnel quite a bit, but for the most part, we don't need to jumble up, do a lot of shifts and motions and everything. Just line up Dez. They're double teaming him or they're not. It's kind of a simple game from that point. You can figure that out, and then you move through your progressions at a quick pace. And the faster you can get through that, the better a football team is, because we have a lot of talented players. But Dez ultimately is the guy that changes the way that the defense rotates.
You lose Murray. He's in Philadelphia. What's it like in the huddle with Joseph Randle, McFadden, Dunbar? I don't know much about these new Cowboy backs. Can you overcome the loss of Murray?
Again, DeMarco had a heck of a year. He was a part of our program for 4 years. The way he played, his demeanor, he had toughness. And that's the way pro football works, though. You get an opportunity and move on. We believe our young guys are good players. And as good as our offensive line is, I don't think it's fair to say, hey, anybody can just run behind that. It takes a guy that's a lot of skill and toughness. And those guys are proving that right now. I think that's what's interesting about being a part of this team is the competition day in and day out. And I think they all see the opportunity that they have.
What about Tony Romo? You've always had his back. He's had some years where people have been on him, the media, criticizing these quarterbacks, but you've always had his back. What is it about Tony Romo that makes you so loyal to him?
Well, I think he's always been an elite quarterback. And I think more than anything else, I always knew what his standard and his expectations was for himself and what kind of quarterback he wanted to become. And when he carried himself that way and he puts the work that he did in and he demanded that from himself, it's easy to respect somebody and say, hey, I'm your guy. Tell me what you need me to do. And so I think he earned that early on to say, I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to become this player that's one of the best in the NFL at his position. And when you have a guy at that position that kind of goes about it that way, it's easy to follow and become his guy support him. I mean, I would hope he would do the same for me, and that's the position I'm in. When you play that position, he's got a lot of people looking at him and demanding a lot from him, and it's my job to support him and until we can't play anymore. That's the only way you can go about it. And he's developed into this amazing player, and really he sets the tempo for our team on which how we play.
All right, good stuff there, and good